What's up, everybody? We are live. Welcome back to the Mindset Mogul podcast. We are your hosts, Josh Jacobs and Bradley Mora, and we are here to deliver you a daily dose of mindset value today. How are you doing today, Brad?
I am doing fantastic. Feeling absolutely grateful to be with you here and the audience. And honestly, this is my daily dose of mindset value. So I can't really ask for much more than
Me too. We were just saying that before jumping on this call. So we do like to start every single episode now with a moment of gratitude. Maybe we call it a MOG. I'm not sure yet. We're workshopping. But so, you know, regardless of how you spent your day up until now, if you're in a great mood, if you're in a bad mood, we would like to take a second to reflect on something you're grateful for. It could be as simple as having running water. It could be something very specific that's happened to you recently, but it's good to start every episode with a moment of gratitude so that we get into the right mind state to consume this content and have the right energy going into it. So I'm very grateful to be here today. I'm very grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to be in the United States. I'm grateful to have this microphone and this setup to be able to talk to you guys and to talk to you, Brad. And I'm always grateful to have running water and food. So I hope that you can take a moment right now to think about something that you are grateful for, and then we will jump in. Today we have another Q&A. Let's see who we have today. We have a question from Josh W. It says, "Hi, Brad and Josh. What is a tactical way for me to increase the likelihood that I can grow my business? Do you have something simple that I can start applying immediately? I've been feeling stuck lately, and I'm looking for a different way to approach things." Great question, Josh. Thank you so much for asking. Really appreciate it. Brad, I'm going to let you start this one off.
Yep. So I did a little thinking on this ahead of time. And I think the best thing that I can do when I'm feeling stuck is to revisit what it is that I'm trying to accomplish. Think very specifically about what I'm building with the end in mind. So skip to the finish line, Josh, of what it is in your business that you're trying to build. And the easiest way to do this is think extremely big picture, sit down, visualize what that business is going to look like. How many people does it have? What's your day-to-day going to look like? What are the things that you're selling? How are you selling them? Get as intricate as possible about what the future state of the business is going to be. And I'm talking 5, 10 years out, so that you can think, okay, this is exactly where I want all of my efforts to be going. And so the goal of this is to kick you out of a state of looking at your feet, basically, and saying, like, what do I need to do next? Which you can't really answer that question until you know exactly where am I planning to go. And so anytime that I hear somebody say that they're having trouble or they're feeling stuck, in order to snap themselves out of that, they need to start thinking with the end in mind. And so once you paint a very distinct picture of what that future state of the business looks like and get it on paper, put bullet points of what you think that future business is going to look like, then start working backwards. And let's just say you aligned on what that 5-year plan is. Work backwards into 3 years. Chop all those numbers down, chop those bullet points down and say, okay, what needs to be true in 3 years if I'm going to achieve that business in 5 years? And start to get more specific. It's okay. If I was going to have a business with 100 people doing 20 million in revenue in 5 years, that probably means in 3 years, I need to have an organization of 50 people doing 10 million in revenue. Okay. So it starts to paint the picture of what is that business going to look like in a smaller portion of time. Gets you closer to where you are today. We start to understand, okay, what is that going to look like? And then do that same exercise, but now do it 1 year out. Okay, if I wanted the business to be at 10 million in 3 years, that probably means I need to be at a run rate of 5 million in 1 year. And these numbers are all contextually for where your business is at today, but work backwards on exactly what the numbers are that need to be true to get you to that 5-year goal. And then what are all the supporting things in your business that need to be true to get you to that goal? And now, once you're at the 1 year viewpoint on things, start thinking very specifically about who do you need on your team? what are the things that they need to be working on to get you to that next number? What is it in marketing? What is it in sales? What is it in operational infrastructure to make sure that you can hit those numbers? Do you need to go out and raise capital to push you in that direction? And so once you're at the 1 year timeline and you get specific, now you have a set of initiatives about what you can be working on. Then work backwards on a 90-day timeline. What do I need to do in the next 90 days to get to that future state in 1 year? And hopefully now it's getting tactical enough for you that you can realize, okay, within 90 days, I got to go make that first hire. I've got to go research XYZ buckets in marketing so that I can develop a set of metrics that I need to go use. I need to find an operations person to help me scale up a specific part of the business that I need built before I can go do the things that I want to do in a year's time. And through that, you now should have a tactical set of steps to actually grow your business and move it forward. So Josh, I took this from a fairly practical standpoint of how do I use business planning, strategic planning, but painting a very clear future-based picture of what you want, and then just tactically work backwards down to a point of what can I basically be doing today to go achieve that final vision. But it all starts with that final vision, because if an airplane takes off and it's going from Washington, D.C. to L.A., but it's 3 degrees off base, it'll end up in Oregon. And so you need to know where you want to go before you start making these plans so that you're spending your time in the right way. And I think doing this exercise will also give you the confidence to get unstuck. Because I also think getting stuck is oftentimes it's a function of I don't know what to do because I don't know where I'm going. Therefore, I don't want to move. You get stuck in like, I'm not sure what I want to do. And so therefore I can't take action because is it the right direction? You got to strip out that. You got to bring clarity to the situation first. And then you know what to do. You've been running this business for however long now. You're the expert. Like the answers will start to reveal themselves to you as you get to that point of clarity. So Josh W., hopefully that's helpful. And Josh Jacobs, thank you for listening to me ramble about this for the first
that was amazing. Seriously, like that needs to be replayed 100%. So definitely go replay the last few minutes that Brad was talking about. That was the best breakdown by Brad so far. And I think to summarize everything that you said basically in one word, it's clarity. And it's interesting because we just did our last episode on having clarity in your own personal life to achieve your own personal goals that you have. And your business is a lot like your personal life. When you think of it like that, you need to have clarity in order to not feel stuck. If you have clarity on exactly where you're going, you're not going to feel stuck because you're going to know what the next step you need to take to get to where you're going is. So everything that you just said is like, it was perfect. And I think that from a more just outside level of the tactics that Brad just said, I think having that clarity and understanding, what gives you energy and what takes energy away from you is important, because you can start to delegate the things that are energy sucks to you to people who enjoy things like that. If you don't like, certain administrative tasks, you can that suck your energy out, you can delegate those things to other people. And I think one of the big reasons why people, especially business owners, feel stuck or start feeling like they're, in a rut is because a lot of the times as business owners, we try to do everything ourselves. And we take on the burden of so many different responsibilities. And we think either A, we can't afford to hire somebody, B, they're not going to do it the same way that we do it, C, I don't want to train this person. There's 100 excuses that you're going to come up with for why you don't delegate. But at the end of the day, if you start to delegate the things that suck your energy and start to spend the time on the things that give you energy, you are going to grow this business more, because inherently you're just going to be more interested in spending the time on those things that give you the energy. And those things that suck your energy, the people that you delegate them to will feel the same about you, in the sense that they will now be getting energy from it because that's their wheelhouse, that's their field of interest. So focus on, the things that give you energy versus sucking your energy. And that's a very powerful switch that you can make in your business. Other than that, I would say that, it's everybody says this, but it's the name of our podcast. I'm going to go back to it. It's mindset. Like if you work on your mindset every single day, if you become a mindset mogul, you will grow your business, because all of the things that you have to do every day to exercise your mental fitness are going to help you grow your business. Being disciplined is going to help you grow your business. Being willing to be uncomfortable and do the things that you know you need to do when you don't want to do them is what will help you not feel stuck. A lot of times we feel stuck because we know about a lot of things that we have to do and we just don't do them for whatever reason. So mindset and discipline is a huge part of this. And I think that's that. Honestly, Brad broke it down so perfectly that I don't think there was anything else that even had to be said after that. But
I think you made a fantastic point. It's been a consistent theme in a couple of the last questions that we've fielded, but this concept of being stuck. And as we talked about it more, I'm like, what is the opposite of being stuck? And it is taking action. And so mindset and discipline are really just tools and frameworks to help you take action in your life. And so if you focus on the foundation of mindset and discipline, really is just the foundations of what can push you to take action in your life. It's much there's always clarity, or there should be if you're listening to this podcast. I hope we are bringing clarity of what it takes to build mindset and to build discipline. And so I think you actually made a really interesting point. Maybe don't even focus on the business at all for a week and just focus on improving your mindset and your discipline in general. Think about, make those the priority in your life. How can I improve my mindset? How can I work on limiting beliefs? How can I work on daily gratitude practice? How can I work on daily meditation practice? Focus on those things first, get momentum with those, build discipline around those, and that'll naturally seep into how you approach everything. And so get unstuck on those little things first. Those are your micro actions that you can take in your life to build momentum. And I bet that you'll start doing the things in your business that you know you need to do, especially if you do the clarity exercise that I talked about at the beginning of the episode. It'll push you into a state of action versus a state of being stuck. And really those things are, you can either be stuck or you can be taking action. There's really no in between. And you just need to get enough momentum to push you into that activated state of taking action. And so I think what you described, Josh, is actually a super simple way to push yourself, for Josh to push himself over the fence of taking action and getting unstuck. And you don't really even have to think about it. Go listen to our podcast, pick up some tips on mindset and discipline, go do those things for a week, and all of a sudden your business is going to kick into gear. I actually can say with 100% certainty that this works because it's literally what's happening in Josh and I's business in Mindset Mogul. We talk about this stuff every day, and then I focus on mindset and discipline almost exclusively as just practices that have nothing to do with the business. And then all of a sudden I'm taking massive action towards this business because the habit of action is a habit that I'm developing as a function of just developing mindset and discipline. And so take it from someone who's learning firsthand just how powerful
this is. I couldn't agree more.
Is.
Dude, you are on fire today. Damn, man, that is...
Yeah, which one of us has been fasting for 36 hours?
Not you, me. Shit, maybe it's time for me to eat. Dude, no.
Actually, maybe it's time for me to fast, and then we could do this for hours at a time.
Man, that was awesome. No, seriously, I have nothing else to add. That was the perfect episode for Josh W. Thank you so much for your question. I know we have an audience exercise for you and for go for it, Brad.
Yeah. I don't want to be too repetitive because what I explained at the beginning is essentially what the audience exercise is. But to potentially make it even more digestible, the big exercise you should do is think about your whole business and then work backwards. If you want to make it and this is for anyone who's listening, you can make it more bite-sized about focus on one thing that you know as a business owner that you want to get done in the business. So the example I'll use here is like build a marketing department. You want to grow your business, you should build a marketing department in your business. That'll take different shapes and forms depending on what type of business you're running. But define exactly what the end state of that marketing department is. And you can, again, figure in this case, since you're looking at like a fairly localized initiative, put it a year out. You're saying in 1 year, I need a marketing department that is bringing in X number of leads to my business. And say, okay, if that's true, then you need to work backwards and say, who am I going to hire and by when? What marketing channels are they going to use? How many emails, blogs, posts? Think about all the metrics and all the things that you could measure that you would want to be true to help grow your business, because X leads to X new customers. And then once you've got all those numbers figured out of where you need to be, work backwards on how you're going to get there. Like how many interviews you're going to do per week to get that person hired and when you're going to have them hired by. How much research on marketing are you going to do to know what metrics you need to measure in the first place? That was a little bit chicken and the egg, but I think you get the picture of figure out what the end state's going to look like, quantify it, define it as clearly as possible, and then figure out the actions you're going to take, whether it's the next 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 90 days, that are super practical things that you can work on to push your business forward. And so the last thing I'll leave the audience with is this is a paraphrased strategy I picked up from a book called Traction. I highly recommend any business owners who want to up-level their game read the book Traction. It goes into this exercise in a lot more detail, and it helped me. I think we're going to use it for we are going to use it for Mindset Mogul. It brings clarity to the business that you're running. And so
that's funny you say that. So number one, that was amazing again. But number one, I'm reading Traction right now. I'm almost done, and I agree. It's a great book. Right before you even said that, I was going to jump in and say another good book on just figuring out just business in general, because a lot of times you have this idea of what you want and you have absolutely no clue how you're going to get there. A great book to deal with that thought is Who Not How. Forgot who wrote it, but great book that I've read that broke down the barriers for me to make what I thought was impossible feel possible. So another good book recommendation, but yeah, Traction, Who Not How, good books. Anything else, Brad? Yeah, that was awesome. That was a heater for you, bro. That was awesome. Josh W., thank you so much for your question. And we appreciate you listening. If you found value in today's episode, please leave us a review on Apple, Spotify, whatever you're listening on. Give us a follow. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. Please give us a like and a comment. We would really, really appreciate it. That's how we're going to grow this show. If you have a question for us, you could submit it to support@mindsetmogul.com, or you can comment on YouTube and we will answer it there. So thank you guys so much. Brad, thank you for the heat today. You really brought it. That was amazing. And we will see you in the next one.
Sweating.
All right. Take care, guys.